Welcome, curious minds. Today we're diving into Sierra Leone, a place with a really deep, often paradoxical history.
Yeah.
We're looking beyond just the surface facts to unpack its complex story, especially around the slave trade, from its, ancient roots to the echoes we still feel.
It's quite a journey. You see how these big historical forces, indigenous conflicts, even abolition attempts, really shaped the region.
And the wider diaspora, too.
Exactly. Our goal is sort of connect those dots for you, show the lasting impact.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Sierra Leone's history goes back, at least 2,500 years?
Mm-hmm. Groups like the Limba settling there early on. The rainforest was even a refuge in a way.
Right. And European contact came pretty early, the Portuguese in 1462. Initially just simple trade, materials for goods.
But here's something crucial. Forms of servitude existed before Europeans. It wasn't chattel slavery.
Right.
It was often tied to kinship. Someone in distress might seek a king's protection, offer labor, but they still had rights, maybe even social mobility. Very different.
Very different. Then things really shift. The main invasion, mid-16th century.
Ah, yes. That militarized the whole region. Suddenly you have chiefdoms continual conflict.
Which created a ready supply of captives.
Precisely. It wasn't just separate, it was a catalyst. It changed the whole dynamic from just occasional raids to a systematic partnership.
Between European traders and local rulers.
Who now had a strong financial reason to wage war specifically for captives. A brutal shift.
So the transatlantic trade ramps up.
Yeah.
It gets incredibly sophisticated, but also just brutal.
Yeah. Europeans provided guns, ammo, other goods. Chiefs exchanged captives, sometimes rivals, sometimes undesirable members of their own groups.
Even adapted local systems like pawnship for credit, right?
They did. A dark twist on an existing practice.
And the main hub for this becomes Bunce Island, British fort. 1670.
A prime spot, as sources call it. And it has this really unique direct link to the United States.
The Gula people.
Especially those sent to the rice plantations in South Carolina and Georgia. Many trace their ancestry right back there.
Wow. And the numbers.
Yeah.
Over 400,000 people just from the Sierra Leone region in the 1700s alone.
Staggering.
But then, the paradox. Sierra Leone becomes the province of freedom. Freetown founded 1787, spearheaded by British abolitionists.
Mm-hmm. Like Wilberforce. But was it purely about freedom?
That's the question. It seems noble, but your point earlier.
Well, sources show it was also a kind of business experiment. The Sierra Leone Company, a private entity, wanted to prove that cash crops grown in Africa could make abolition economically viable, remove the need to export people.
So sound economics as a driver for abolition. But that sounds like it could lead to its own problems.
It often did. New forms of oppression sometimes emerged for the settlers themselves. It wasn't simple.
And the experience of enslavement itself, horrifying from the start. The capture, one source says, like being caught as a kid among many chasing wolves.
Just terrifying. Then the overland journeys, the Middle Passage, weeks of disease and death.
Even the liberated Africans brought to Freetown by the British Navy, their journey was still a kind of Middle Passage, still full of suffering.
Yeah, it's interesting, though. Historians note this strange bond that formed between shipmates. Communities forged in that shared trauma.
Resilience.
Definitely. But we also have to push back against the idea that any form of domestic slavery was somehow mild.
Right.
Looking closely at records, even later ones like 1874, 1894, reveals a system far more exploitative and violent. Threats of resale, abuse, starvation, harsh labor. It was common.
So how does all this turmoil forge modern Sierra Leone? You have Freetown, this melting pot.
Exactly. And that fusion gives rise to the Creole people, often westernized, Christian, many descended from formerly enslaved people from all over.
And they often ended up in prominent positions under colonial rule.
They did, which unfortunately created lasting ethnic tensions. Indigenous groups like the Temne and Mende resented the Creoles' perceived privilege. This led to revolts, instability. Challenges to national unity you can still see traces of today.
History casting a long shadow. And the economic impact.
It's profound. Research draws a direct causal link between how heavily an area was rated for slaves and its level of underdevelopment today.
So the poorest countries now are often the ones where the most people were taken.
It's a chilling correlation. It wasn't just losing people, it was the institutional decay.
Explain that.
The constant warfare, the fragmentation, it destroyed social cohesion, stopped communities forming properly, corrupted justice systems. It really sowed the seeds of today's underdevelopment.
Wow. And bringing it to the present, those cultural links are still strong, right? Like the Gula connection you mentioned.
Absolutely. It's a living link back to Bunce Island, a tangible piece of that shared, complex past.
So this deep dive really shows a story much more complex than just dates. Exploitation, yes, but also incredible resilience.
Definitely. You see it in the Creole identity, those enduring diaspora connections.
And understanding this layered history, it feels crucial for grasping today's challenges. Unity, economic progress.
It really is. The past isn't just past. It's actively shaping the present.
Which leaves us with a question for you listening. How does confronting these kinds of historical paradoxes, freedom and exploitation existing side by side, change how we understand not just one place, but maybe how we approach complex global issues today?
Alright guys, thank you so much for listening to this video. Please make sure you don't forget to like, you comment and share, and I hope to see you on in the next video. Peace.